But I knew if help was sent, it would only end in about blood blah. It would only end in about blood blah.
Hi everybody and welcome to my channel, and I am going to have a lot of videos wearing the same outfit because when I get time to do videos, as I've said before, I like to do a lot of them. And I did switch up and put on this awesome hat that says "Too Glam to Give a Damn," and it is a mermaid, my favorite. So yeah, switched it up for you so at least you have a little bit something different to look at. Let me adjust you up so you can see. And this is from Hippie Runner. I don't know. I love it though. Anyway, so something I decided that I was going to start to do was read some things I've written in the past. I used to love to write. Now I can't spell. I'm not too sure of all my punctuations, but I always did good at writing reports, writing stories, etc., even in college. So I have a blog, and I don't write on it a super lot, but when I do, sometimes it's funny, sometimes serious, what have you. And on my Myspace, yes, this is how old this story was, from back in the Myspace days, I wrote some, like, you could write like passages on there and share them. And so I wrote some things I shared on there, but since Myspace is dead, I guess, a while ago, I brought them to my to my WordPress blog site, and it is called Scattered Chatter. So if anyone ever wants to check that out, yeah. Anyway, so I thought that I would go ahead and start to read like a story or a passage that I wrote or blogged or whatever for video. And yeah, the first story I'm going to read is a funny one. I used to have this cat that was so mean. So mean, ask anybody. It would just like sit there and judge you. Like, and then when like you'd walk past it, it would like attack you and kill you. So I was literally terrified of this cat, and it was all black. And so I don't know, but I don't have the cat anymore. Sadly, it passed, and before it passed, obviously, I wrote this blog about it. Let's have a little official story time. This passage is called
The Wrath of the Beast.
This is just another exaggerated story I wrote in 2008 and came across on my Myspace. What can I say? This blog wasn't named Scattered Chatter for nothing. The story below is about my old cat Cosmo, who is no longer with us due to natural causes. He was not injured in the writing of this story. Enjoy. Now here is the story.
The Wrath of the Beast.
The following story is rated R, due to graphic descriptions of attacks and scenarios. This story is based on true events. It is not for the weak-hearted nor anyone under the age of 17. The Wrath of the Beast. And really, people under the age 17 can clearly hear this story, but I was just being funny, trying to be funny. October 2nd, 2008 started out as any normal Thursday would. The clock struck 5:30 a.m. and the unbearable sound of Frank's phone alarm quickly took over the peaceful silence of the morning. If only that damn alarm clock had been the biggest disturbance of my day. Eventually, Frank left for work. As I lay in bed, I hear the unhealthy roar of Sebastian's engine fade into the distance. Sebastian was this like crappy blue car Frank had, and I named it Sebastian. All is peaceful. I decide to try to get some more sleep. My darling cat Cosmo jumps up on the bed and comes and sits by my chest. I begin to gently pet him, in his favorite, most soothing spots, all while hoping he'll lie down and cuddle with me, since it's so very cold. I'm drifting off to sleep when Cosmo viciously snaps at me and bites my hand, the same exact hand that I was so lovingly caressing him with just a short moment ago. As he bites my hand, I jump in shock. I'm startled and didn't expect that type of behavior. I raise my voice, ever so slightly, and strongly recommend him to cease that behavior at once. I then cuddle into my warm bed, pull the covers up to my ears, and close my eyes. Less than a minute later, Cosmo hurls himself onto my upper back. I jump again. Now I'm pissed. Cosmo senses my fury and jumps off the bed. Without getting out of bed, I slowly and cautiously look around the room. It's dark. It couldn't have been more than 30 degrees. I could see my breath form smoke as I exhaled. Looking back, I wonder, was it the weather that made the room so cold? Or was it the evil generating off the feline that made the temperature in the room so unbearable? At this point, I know he's eyeing me up. I know I'm open for attack. However, I'm too scared to move. He's evil, and I know it. I realize that these might be my last moments on beautiful planet Earth, so I decide to call Frankie to say my goodbyes. I tell Frank how much I love him, and we discuss my funeral arrangements. Our conversation goes on uninterrupted for a few minutes. I begin to feel strangely relaxed. I go to lie down under the covers. I turn my body to the right, and there he is, literally 1 centimeter from my face. I scream at the top of my lungs right in Frank's ear and begin to bawl my eyes out. My own cat scared me into tears. Frank's on the phone yelling at me to hit Cosmo, but in my heart I know that will only make it worse. The cat is off the bed now again. I can't see him, but I can hear him, making brief, cut-off, threatening meows. I try to pinpoint where his location is, but I can't. He's too coy. He's too deceitful. All of a sudden, I look up and Cosmo is flying through the air towards the bed. In instinct, I thrust my left arm into the air, make contact with him, and launch the beast across the room. I now know I don't have much hope left. The beast will bring revenge upon me soon. The next couple minutes is spent like a cat and mouse game. No pun intended. Safely, Cosmo moves around the bottom of my bed, threatening me verbally with his evil demonic squeaks. As I try to sense where he is, I cautiously peek over the edge of my bed. I see his big, glowing, orange demonic eyes gawking back at me. I quickly hide from view. This sick game lasts about 3 more rounds. I then give up. I shall hunt for the swine no more. I should have known better than to let my guard down. For the second I did, Cosmo charged at me, screeching in anger, and punctured my left forearm with his mighty teeth. I shove him off the bed and he starts hissing with fury. Frank is yelling at me to lock him out of the room, but I'm too terrified. I sit there and listen to the beast's cries of desperation. Finally, I summon all of my courage to get off of the bed. As soon as my feet hit the ground, the beast starts under the bed. Slowly and cautiously, I walk around the bed. Cosmo then jets out and tries to sever my left foot, but misses. The creature must be getting tired, for his performance is starting to suffer. In embarrassment of his awful assault, Cosmo runs out of the room. I run up to the door, slam it shut, and lock it. I let out a sigh of relief. I am safe at last, but for how long? I hang up with Frank and climb back into bed. Out of nowhere, the animal starts to pound on the door while screaming in resentment. At this point, I don't know what to do. How did I get so unlucky to adopt such a possessed creature? What did I do to deserve being tormented like this? I debated calling 911 for a while, but I knew if help was sent, it would only end in a bloodbath. Hours passed. I began to get hungry. Oh, so hungry. I scoured the room for nourishment, but there was none to be found. I tried to build a fire for warmth, but could find no twigs. I began to go in and out of consciousness. The whole time I was wondering if I would make it, doubting I would. I imagined my future, what my wedding would have been like, what my children would have looked like, how many more Whoppers I would have been able to eat. In time, all was peaceful in the house. I heard no pounding at the door, no demonic screaming. I decided to be brave and exit. I was able to find some nourishment. The beast sleeps, but for how long? No one knows for sure. I tell you this tale in order to achieve justice if anything were to happen to me tonight or tomorrow morning. Everyone must know the truth. If I don't make it, prosecute the beast. And that is the end of my story I wrote. And I would like to add that, obviously, yes, like I used a lot of satire and exaggeration and stuff like that, but that actually was a true story for the majority of like all the parts where I said the cat like attacked me and stuff like that. Like he was doing that, and he was like lunging at the door when I locked him out, trying to get in the bedroom. This cat it was literally demonic. I'm not even lying. Ask any of my friends. Ask any of my friends that knew him. He was literally demonic. So while like I honestly didn't try to build a fire in my bedroom, and I obviously wasn't starving, and it obviously wasn't 30 degrees, that cat, those attacks and stuff, like, actually really happened. Like, that's how crazy this cat was, and I was so scared of him that I was crying on the phone with Frank while he was on his way to work. So, yeah. That was my Wrath of the Beast story time, and I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe I will read another one of my blog passages in the near future. As always, thanks for watching, or should I say listening? I'll see you again next time. Bye, guys.